The biggest question that I seem to get from people back home at the moment is what's it like living in Trump's America? And I think from talking to people, for most Americans, not much has really changed since before Trump took over. Of course, there are a lot of people here in this city, in Washington, federal workers who, perhaps either have already lost their jobs or live in fear of it. So for those people, yes, life is different. If you're an undocumented migrant, for example, or you know people, you have friends and family who are undocumented, then obviously your life looks different as well.
And on day one, I will launch the largest deportation program of criminals in American history. We're going to get them out.
And obviously, if you're a teacher, or increasingly if you're a university academic at an Ivy League university, for example, your life might look different. But for many, many Americans, things, go on as they were. Their attention is on their grocery bills, which have not gone down and continue to go up, despite what President Trump claims. In Kentucky, I met the head of the American Soybean Association. He's a 9th-generation farmer named Caleb Ragland, and he doesn't really know at this stage whether there's going to be a market for those soybeans from the largest purchaser of American soybeans, and that's China. At the moment, there's 125, 145% tariffs in each direction between the world's two largest economies, and that effectively amounts to a trade embargo.
We are very concerned about the implications due to the fact that 50% of U.S. soybeans are exported. China bought more soybeans from us than all other exporter markets together, so we're very concerned about losing another big chunk of our largest export market.
It's certainly true that the shine has come off Donald Trump. Most of the polls show his approval rating has come down quite a few points since January. That is mostly based off people thinking that he's not handling the economy as well as he could be, that he's not devoting as much attention to the economy that he could be. And obviously, there are a lot of market jitters about tariffs.
We're going to tariff the hell out of them.
And we've seen in recent days and weeks attempts to kind of mollify the markets by backing off on a lot of those tariffs or saying that they will come down. But people are still nervous, and they're seeing that their bills are not going down, although, as Trump points out, the price of oil has come down since he took office, so that's giving people some relief. Trump has lost a lot of favour with two groups where he really was able to make inroads during the campaign, and those were Hispanic voters and young voters under 30. These are two groups that obviously the Democrats long had a stranglehold over, but Trump was really able to run up the vote in those demographics. However, since the election, he's really lost a lot of his sheen with those two groups. Nonetheless, when you talk to people that voted for Trump, they're not having buyer's regret. They're saying he needs more time, that he seems to be doing the right things, that he's taking strong action. That's one of the things that they mainly wanted to see. There was a real sense that Joe Biden was a weak leader. People were crying out for what they saw as strong leadership. And Donald Trump, whether you agree or not with a lot of the things that he says and does, is someone who at least looks like being a strong leader. Having said all that, not everyone in America is in love with Donald Trump. Since he took office, there have been protest movements galore across the US, directed not just at Donald Trump, but also at Elon Musk.
A star is born, Elon.
And his perceived takeover of the bureaucracy and the cuts that he and his Doge team have been making in the name of government efficiency.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
I think the final important thing to say is that during his first 100 days, Donald Trump has picked a lot of fights. So he's obviously picked a fight with the world on trade and tariffs. He's picked a particular fight with Europe over Ukraine.
You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
And he's picked a fight with the courts here in the US, particularly over immigration, which is obviously an issue where the Republicans think they're on a winner with the public.